Aloha everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be talking about aphasia and what it means to live with aphasia and what constant battle that it is. And if you guys do not know what aphasia basically means that if you know someone who has had a stroke, basically it is the aftermath, or it could be the effects of the stroke that you had. So it basically is, sometimes you can get things confused, or you can get things confused with basically directions, or as simple as people are talking to you and you hear one word that they're physically telling you and it just comes out one ear, or it just comes in one ear and it goes out the other, and and 5-minute delays. It can be really hard to connect the dots sometimes, and that's what I mean by 5-minute delays or 10-minute delays. And it can be hard to connect the dots sometimes, in that present moment when they're telling you stuff, with regarding directions, and they're telling it to you really, really fast, and then you think about it 10 minutes later, and then you're like, oh, that's what they meant. And then, or they could be joking with you, right? And you didn't get the joke until 10 minutes later, and then you laugh about it with yourself. For me, for example, I struggle with aphasia due to my stroke. So for me, I struggle with physically understanding directions. Directions, going places, right? If I've been to one place once, I do see it in my mind. I do see it physically. It's seared in my brain, but I really do not know how to get there. If somebody is asking me, oh, hey, how do you get to that place? You've been there, right? I'm like, I don't know. And then they're asking me, but you've been there. And I'm like, I don't remember. And also because of my stroke, right? The effects of my stroke was massive, right? So it affected my brain on my left side. So, that on my left, that is the math side of things, and the intellectual stuff. So I can get really confused with math sometimes. I can get really confused with, that type of thing. So with learning how to do certain things, I can get really, really confused. Or, in the past, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, if you guys do have aphasia, or even if you don't, in the past with my struggle with aphasia, right, I come to understand, if I don't go to sleep early, then my aphasia is through the roof. If people are talking to me, then it just, whatever they're saying, it just goes in one ear and it comes out the other. And I'm really aggravated the next day, and I'm getting things confused, and my brain is really tired on top of that. Or if I've overworked, right? And my first job, right? So my first job, I used to work a lot of long hours, and even though I wasn't on schedule, a lot of the time. Like I used to work some days were long hours and my brain was overworked um, afterwards. And then there were times where my mom would be like, oh, hey, can you run to KTA? And she would give me a list. And I'm like, okay. And the thing is also with my aphasia, I can go through a Target no problem. I can go through a Walmart no problem. But the thing for me is I can't go through a KTA without being overwhelmed. So I don't know if it's because it's a more closed, like really tiny space, or it's because I don't know what. But it's a executive functioning part where I'm like, I don't know what to do. You know? So that for me is a real big struggle. And again, with directions, like if I'm in an airport, right? Like I am reading the signs, but it's just the intertwines of the airport, right? Like if I'm going to Southwest, it's not as easy as going through Hawaiian. So for me, it's like walking through a mainland airport going through Southwest. Versus Hawaiian, it's like no problem for me. And it's like I've been through that airport plenty of times, right? But somehow my brain shuts off when it comes to the direction part of it. And it's just something that I need to work on. So I feel that, with aphasia, it's a constant struggle. It's a constant battle. And if you don't take care of yourself, the aphasia is going to go right through the roof. And you're going to be like really confused. You're going to have speech slurs. Sometimes I get words mixed up. Like, I didn't know what a certain word meant. I didn't know what I was saying during that time. And we all make mistakes, right? So I genuinely feel that, going through this process and having this constant battle with aphasia is a working and learning process. And if you have something similar to what I have, just know that it gets better. And I just want you to know that, whatever you are going through, it does get better. And aphasia is something that is a huge deal. It's a huge thing in my life. And I truly feel that sometimes it can get really frustrating. Sometimes, I'm like, ugh, like, did I really say that out loud? Or, because, we all say dumb things, like aphasia or if you don't have aphasia. But, with aphasia, it makes sense in my mind. Like, if I'm talking to certain people in my life, even with my parents, they're like, huh? What did you say? And, it hurts because, in my mind, I know what I'm talking about, but, out loud, they don't know what I'm talking about. just working to like getting them to understand, getting people to understand what I'm talking about. Aphasia is like, for me, like, I wish there were times like, oh, I wish I didn't say that, or like I really didn't mean that, but also it's the tone, right, that you give, and like people don't take that like lightly, or like you thought you were joking, like in your mind you thought you were joking, but other people didn't see it that way, so they're like, her, really, she was joking, and then they don't want to be your friend. So I know in my past years and all those things, like people who say that they were my friend, I told them about my struggles and my disability and stuff like that. They would always tell me, oh yeah, Kiana, I understand. And with any social conflict that I had, it always ended badly, and they turned on me or they bullied me, and it was hurtful. It was really, really, really hurtful. It's because they truly didn't understand, even though they said that they did understand. And I was bullied from, although like I switched schools a lot of the time. I was bullied from elementary all the way from middle school. In high school, it got better. I had like one or two good friends, and then the rest were acquaintances. But really, like, if you guys have a similar disability, or if you don't have a disability, honestly, like, know who your friends are, and keep them close to you, and really just know that you are your own advocate, and know that you can decide who you want to be in life. And honestly, I'm telling you this, like, when I was, you know, 13, going through in high school, like, I truly, when they told me, like, oh, like, I understand, like, I thought they were actually genuine up until, like, they really didn't understand, because they all turned on me. And the ones that stuck around, they're still in my life. Those are the ones from high school. And I have a friend who stuck by me, and she's my friend from elementary school. And, shout out to her, because she stuck up to the bullies. And so I'm very, very grateful for them, and I'm very grateful for them being in my life. So going back to aphasia, it can be a big blessing, and it can be something that you are really struggling with at the same time, because you can impact people and you can change people's lives, but also when you're feeling like, oh my gosh, that was bad, that sucked, ugh, I wish I could go back and change what I did. But honestly, don't we all wish we could go back and change what we did? I know I would want to change a few things. But in all reality, we just have to tread on and keep moving forward, and know that you are worth something, And if you have something similar to what I have, know that you are worthy. And aphasia is, you know, there are times where I do laugh about my aphasia because like I genuinely laugh sometimes at my own self. It's pretty funny. So yeah. So all I have to say to you is that know that you are worthy and know that you are uniquely and divinely made. That this is it for today's video. And yeah, I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful day. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!